Hello and welcome back to RPG Limit Break 2022. My name
はい、
is
お
Sam
待たせい
without a
たしま
plan
し
and
た。
I'm going to be
引
your
き続
host
き
for the
司会
next
進
few
行は
runs.
神谷がお
Right
送りい
now
た
we're
し
going to hear
ま
from
す。
Freddie chatting with PeteDorr, who will be
次
running
のタイ
Lord
トル
of
は
the Rings,
The Lord
Fellowship
of
of
the
the Ring,
Ring
any percent.
フェローシップオブザリングカテゴリーは Any% です。
Hello, I'm
こち
here
ら
with
解説の
PeteDorr.
方がいらっ
Pete,
し
how are
ゃ
you
い
doing
ま
today,
せん。
Pete?
Very
も
good, thank you.
し、
Thanks for
ゲー
having
ムを
me
遊
for
ん
a
だ
pre-run
ことがあ
interview.
るというのはちょっと
Of course,
なん
yeah,
か
looking
割と
forward.
マ
So
イ
I did
ナー
some
そうな
research
ゲー
on
ムなん
the
で
this is the
難
Game
しい
Boy
かもしれ
Advance
ないですけ
version
ど
of the Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the
映画と
Ring.
か見てストーリ
And
ーを
I must say
一
I'm
通り
quite
知っ
looking
てる
forward
よ
to
と
it
いう方
already.
でも全然
What does
問
it
題
mean
な
for
いの
you to
で
run the
もし
game
よ
at
ろ
a
しけ
larger
れば
marathon
解
like
説の
this,
方の
even
応
if
募
remote?
お待ちしております。
So it's
我こそはという
I've
方
really
は
been looking
解
forward
説
to
応募
being
フォーム
on
から
RPG
応募
Limit
ま
Break
た
because
は
I
リ
love
ス
the
トリ
cause
ームの
behind
ディス
NAMI
コード
and
の
I
方で
also
ご連
love
絡ください。
speedrunning
また
RPGs. I got
深
into
夜
it a few
帯という
years
こ
ago
とも
and
あ
I
っ
love
てこう
terrible
やって
games
喋
and I
るのはち
also
ょっ
love
と
Lord
と
of the
いう
Rings.
場合でし
So
た
it's
ら
like the
ツイッチ
perfect
のチャット欄の方
conglomeration of things
で
coming
補助
together for
を
me.
していただけるだけでも助かりま
Yeah,
す。
talking about that, this is
と
far
いう
from
わ
your
けでです
first, and
ね、
you have
一
developed a bit of a
応
reputation for running
軽
these,
く
shall
調
we
べ
say,
たんですけ
obscure
ど、
games, probably the
も
most
ともと
well-known being your run of
Xbox
Urban
向け
Yeti.
に発売
So
さ
what,
れ
what
た
keeps you
ゲー
coming
ム
back to
の
the style game?
ゲ
What do you
ー
like the
ムボー
most
イア
about
ド
it?
バンスへの移植作品ら
In
しく
terms
て、
of Lord of the Rings or terrible games.
タイトルの、
in
ザ・
terms
フ
of
ェローシ
the
ップ・
terrible
オブ・
games
ザ・
angle.
リングというのは、
So it's usually
ま
because
あ
nobody
原
else
作の、
there's usually not
第
a
1
large community
巻
for
や、
terrible
また、
games and
映画の
I always
1
like
作目
finding
で
like
す
the
ね。
things that make these really bad
まあ、
games
日
fun to
本で
not
は
just
ロー
play
ド・オ
but
ブ・ザ・リ
also
ングという
speedrun
だ
and
け
the
で、
best part is when you
映
stream them you
画
have an
化
audience
され
that
ていたん
laughs
ですけ
along
ど、
with
実
you
際
so
には
that
これ、こ
that's
の
what
ゲー
makes
ム
it
の
the
タイ
most
ト
fun.
ル
If I
と
wasn't
全
streaming
く
these
同
games
じ
there's no
タ
way
イ
in
トル
heck
に
that
な
I
っ
would
ていま
be
す。
speedrunning this off
ただし、
stream. I mean I'd be miserable
映画と
so
は
the fact
全
that
く
I have a
関係が
community
ない
and
そうで
viewers
す。
is what drives me to endure
一
these
応
terrible
映画
speedruns.
が
They're fun though, they're
2001
fun.
年に、第1部が放
Yeah,
送
definitely. Like
公開され
I
て、
know
このゲーム
stuff
は、
like this is definitely
2002
one of the
年
more
に、
entertaining and definitely the fan
発売された
favorites
作品ら
of
し
a
い
lot
で
of these
す。
marathons. So, but definitely good from that angle.
そうなぜ
Also
か
from what I saw, go
Xbox
ahead.
からゲームボーイアドバ
I
ン
was
ス、
just
自
gonna
分
say, I
最初
also
に調
love
べた
a lot
時
of
に
these really bad
Xbox
games
の
usually
ゲーム
have
の
like
画
some
像が
crazy
映像
glitches
が
that
出て
aren't
きた
quite
んで、
well
こういうゲーム
documented
な
as
の
was the
か
case
っ
with
て
this game.
こう
So
ちょっと
somebody sort
眺
of
めて
left
た
a
んです
bread
け
trail
ど、
before me
その
with
後に
what the
スケ
glitches
ジュール
were
見
and
る
then it was
と
up to me to
GBA
kind
っ
of
て書いて
like
あって、
really
さっ
delve
き
into
見
them a
た
bit
の
more
は
and find out what
明ら
makes
か
them
に
tick.
ゲーム
And
ボー
this
イアド
game
バン
still
スじゃな
finds
かった
ways to
ぞと
surprise me
思っ
even up
て
until the last minute
奏者
before
さ
this
んの
run
記
here
録を
today.
見に
So
行ったら、まあ、一応同じ世
Always
界
and
観の同
marathons
じゲー
being
ム
a
っ
thing,
ぽい
I'm
なと
sure
思い
we'll
つつ
try to find
も、グ
something
ラ
at
フィッ
some
クが
point that
全
will
く別
be a
物
first
の
time.
ゲーム
So,
が記録動画として
so leading
公
into
開さ
that,
れてい
from
ま
what I
した。
saw, many things can happen. So without spoiling too much here,
まあ、
what is the thing
Xbox
that
版も
you
ですね、
most and or maybe least
映
hope
画
will happen
の
in
キャ
this
スティン
your
グ
run?
から
oh
は
man,
ちょっと
so
似てい
I
ない
won't
という
spoil
か、
too
まあ、映
much,
画と
but
もとも
there's
と
a
関
lot of
係ないゲ
skips
ーム
and
ということ
sequence
で、
breaks in this game,
全
and
然
things
違
can
う
go
見た目
wrong,
な
but
ん
that's
で、
why I have
結構違
I
和
guess I'll
感
call
があ
them
っ
my
たんですけど、
specimens.
それがゲームボーイ
I
ア
keep
ドバンス
multiple
のグラフィッ
carts
クにな
with
ると、
various pieces of types of paper in them
ま
labeled
あ、
as to
違
like
和
where
感が
they
マシ
are
に
in
な
the
りました
run
ね、
as a
逆
backup.
に。
So in case something does go
ドッ
terribly
ト
wrong
っ
and I
ぽい
can't get
感じ
past
に
a
なっ
certain glitch,
て、
I
こ
can
う細部が
hop in
見
a
えなく
different
なっ
cart, which
た
I
分、
will
違和感が
actually,
な
I'll
く
get
なっ
into it
た
during the
み
run,
た
but
い
I
な
will be making a swap
感じです。
with carts later in the run because of certain circumstances that I'll get into later. But the thing that I'm dreading and looking forward to the most
王
is
の期
everybody
間
knows
の
that in
ゲームで
RPG
はないです
speedruns
ね。
we do a lot of
日
dodging of
本
enemies.
の
The
日本
dodging dodging
で
of
映画
enemies
化され
in
て
Lord
い
of
た
the
ものだ
Rings
と
has
1
some
本目の
really
ものになりま
interesting
す。
mechanics and glitches behind it, but there's one mid-run enemy dodge that can take anywhere from 15 seconds to 15 minutes.
そ
So
し
I'll
て私
leave
は
it
で
up
す
to you
ね、
to wait and
映
see
画
what that is in the
が
run.
公開された当時に第1部を
Well,
見ただ
I
け
imagine it will probably
と
go
い
one
う
of those
も
two
う
directions,
20年
honestly,
以上
knowing,
前
knowing how
に
these tend to work in
第1部を
situations
見
like
ただ
that.
け
Hopefully
と
5 minute
いう
5 minute average is about usually what it takes.
記
So
憶しかないので、
So we'll
全
we'll
く
hope
わ
for
かりま
that
せん。
then. I also believe
キャ
most
ラ
of your
クターの
incentives
名
happen
前
fairly late
も
into
ウ
the
ィキ
run.
ペデ
Is
ィ
there
アを
anything
見
in
て、
particular
あ
we
あ、そう
should
いえ
know
ばこ
about
んな名
these,
前のキャラク
or
ターたちだった
anything
な、み
if
たい
you
な。
give a chance to donate for?
yeah, so the first incentive that ends first is save or kill
ちなみ
Legolas,
にで
which
すね、
essentially in the speed run,
ビット
when
が
your fellowship
2
is all
つ設
together in Moria
定
and you're
され
fighting,
て
for
い
some
ま
reason
し
they put
て、
Legolas in
1
the
つ
front line,
が
and he essentially takes the brunt of the
レ
blows,
ゴ
and
ラ
he
ス
usually
を
100%
助
of
け
the
る
time
か
almost
殺す
always
か。
dies in a run. So I just let him die. So
で、
I'm leaving it up to the viewers to decide
現
if
在
we
は
should
助
keep
け
him
るが
alive with some
65
health
ドル、
potions,
殺す
and
が
sometimes
25
he
ド
can
ル
get some
で
really fun snipe
助
kills
け
in
る
because he
方
does
に
almost no damage. So sometimes he can actually
助
be
ける
really
優
clutch in
勢
the
で
run,
す
but most of the
ね。
time he's a waste of time, and I just let him die. So if you guys want to see him Liv for the run. I'll even go out of my way to pick up a pretty decent bow for him to give him a little bit of extra
もう一
firepower.
つが、
Or we could just let him, kill off Legolas.
誰
The
が
other incentive is a little confusing, so I
誰
wanted
が
to clarify
指輪
this.
をぬ
At the very end of the run, normally the canon is Boromir tries to
指
steal
輪
the
は
ring
誰
from
か
Frodo,
ら
but I
盗
can
まれる
change
の
that
か
to
と
be
い
any
う
canon
の
that
が
you fantasize.
ピ
So
ッ
it
ト
can
ウォーに
be
設定されてい
it
ま
can
す
be
ね。
Frodo, it can be it can be canon, it can be Legolas. We can even resurrect him from the grave if needed. It can't be Gandalf, but we can even go as far as to have Boromir steal the ring
不具
from
合によ
himself
りフロドの代わり
as
に
sort
ボ
of
ロミア
doppelganger
が
Boromir,
ガン
which
ダル
is
フ
a
以外
very
の仲間から
interesting
指輪
choice.
を
So I'm
盗む
interested
こ
to
と
see
が
where
できるよ
people
うに
go
なり
with
ました。
this. So yeah, those are the two incentives we got.
有識者なら今
Yeah,
のでわかる
and
んで
once
す
again,
よ
not to
ね。
spoil too much, but it is an interesting effect if that happens. So
Yes.
I think
Little bit
other than that, is there anything else you'd
ま
like
あ、ハ
to
リー・ポッターとたまに
talk about
登
real
場
quick
人物が
before
ご
we
っちゃ
start
に
your
なる
rant?
はわかりますね、なんか。
I'm just hoping everything goes according to plan. I'm hoping that the game breaks and glitches where it should, because I'm going to be honest, when this game goes according to plan and doesn't break, that's when things get a little messy. So we're hoping for the worst with this game. So that's about it.
Okay, well, with that, we'll let me go over a little bit of our prize stuff, and then we'll get going on the Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring. So we have 3 prizes going out until the end of this run, actually. So you have to get it in during this, and like I said, there's some great donation incentives to go for. First, we have the Golden Sun desk mat if you contribute a minimum of $10. We also have a Lord of the Rings shadow box.
どっちだっ
with a
け
minimum
最初ガ
donation
ン
of
ダルフっていうのが出てきたんですが、あれガ
And
ン
then
ダルフ
also we
は
have a D&D
どっち
session
だっ
with our
けっ
very
て
own
合
Bob
っ
the
てた
Ninja
っけって
Goldfish
思っ
for a
て、
minimum
ウィ
of
キペディア
$5
見に行っ
donation.
て、あ、合
And
ってた、合
to
って
further
た、み
clarify
たいな
that, I
感
got
じで。
some extra information from Bob, and he informed me that this can both be broken up into multiple time slots, and also that he is very experienced at DMing new players. So if you are brand new to D&D or an experienced player, this is good for any of you.
本作だけ日本未発売。
And finally, we do have our grand prize, once again, the
Wikipedia
PlayStation 5
英語版
with
しか
copies of Final Fantasy VII
問題
Remake
しな
and
かったで
Tales
す
of
ね。
Arise with a cumulative
しかも
$100 donation
現
throughout
代
the
と
entire event. So it doesn't
全
have
く
to be
同じ
in
名
one
前で
go.
ゲームを
You
作って
can
るんで、
donate
その
for
まま、
various different
そのまま
blocks,
検索すると、
games,
映画の方とかばっ
incentives,
かり出るん
and
で
you'll
す。
be eligible for that one. So with that, we'll send it back over to Sam, and we can get going with the run. Good luck, Pete.
Thank you.
確かに他にそんなゲームがいっぱいあるんだろうが。
All right. Thank you so much, PeteDorr and Freddie, for
なんか
that
ロード・オブ・ザ・リ
informative
ングス
interview
オ
right
ンライン
there.
とかで。
I just want to remind everyone that we are still accepting donations for the incentives of saving Legolas or killing Legolas right now. In the lead is to save him, but you can change that. You can change that really quickly.
ちょっと今裏で情報をいただいたんですけど、別の
All right, and it looks like we are ready to go. So take it away, PeteDorr.
こ
All
れ
right,
を
thank you.
発
We're
売
just going to get
し
started
開
right
発
away
したの
here,
は
and the timer will start in 3, 2,
WXP
one. Here we go. Okay, so a lot of you are probably wondering
That-
what Lord of the Rings game is this? And it is actually a turn-based Lord of the Rings game on the Game Boy Advance.
今回
It was an
これを
exclusive
開発し
version.
たメーカ
And
ー
it
と
does have
は
turn-based
別
combat.
で
So as you
EA
can
が
imagine,
ゲームを
the
出してる
full
んですね。
fellowship is in your
すいません
party in
ちょっと
this
画面
game.
を
So
別に映しちゃった
it's quite the
は
hefty
い、
party.
始まってますね。
And the
グタ
combat
クで
is,
す。
well, I won't ruin the surprise for you. You'll see how it fares. Now, this does follow the books very closely. Actually, a lot of the lines in this line for line. And they have some pretty interesting character portraits in this game, as you'll see. They do follow the lines in the book very, very closely, which is quite nice for fans of the book. But they do take some creative liberties, as you're also going to see with how the plot progresses. So we're kind of in the point of the story here where
すいま
Gandalf's
せん、チャッ
coming
トあります
talk
けど、
to Bilbo,
このゲームはすべて
convince
の
him
プ
to
ラッ
hand
ト
over
フォ
the
ーム
ring to
で
Frodo.
100万本以上売れたというのは
Text
ウィキペ
mashing
デ
in
ィア
this
に
game is
書かれていましたね。
not the best. It's one of those games where you sort of need to hold down the button to speed up the text, but it doesn't advance to the next line of dialogue. It kind of stops. So it's a little awkward to mash this game. I pretty much just mash 2 buttons at once. And,
た
you
だ
know,
そ
there's a
の後
more
に発
optimal way
売
to
さ
do
れ
it,
た
but it's
EA の
highly inconsistent.
方が、さらに売れたみたいなことが書かれていたはずです。
All right, so we're going to be gaining control of Frodo here in just a moment. And we're going to be getting Sam into our party. And then the fun can begin. There's a certain manipulation in this game that completely breaks it, and you'll see that in just a moment.
Xbox からゲー
Enjoy
ム
the
ボーイア
music
ドバ
while it
ンスで移
lasts.
植す
This
るとき
game
に
is...
逆にホビ
Because
ッ
it
ト
gets
が
so
小
broken
さ
and
いん
because
で
it is
移
so
植
glitchy,
がなん
the music
か
will often
大
cut
変
out.
壮感があります
All right, so the first thing we got to do is make sure we pick up this gold coin. Very important. It's actually the most important item that I pick up in the run because it starts our adventures with the glitching. Make our way down here to go visit Pippin. Right in here. Also, you'll see me fumbling around as I move through this game. It's also because the controls in this are abysmal. It is really hard to turn characters in this game. Okay, so first we're going to come over here. We're going to buy a firework. Now we're going to open up my menu. Now, we're going to drop it on the ground. And I'm going to save and quit. And you'll see what this does in just a moment. So you're going to see a lot of saving in this game. Every time that I save and quit, the item that I just dropped on the ground is duplicating. You can do this
最
with
近
any
履
item
修
in the
した
game.
からちょっと話がわかる
Healing
人は
items, weapons.
これは今何をし
So
てるんですか
normally
ね
in
な
a
んか
run I
タイ
save
ト
here
ル画
4
面に
times, which gives me 4 fireworks. That's
戻っ
like the
て
minimum that I
は
would need to get through the
再
run
開してみ
with
た
a
いなのを繰
risky
り返
route.
してますけど
Because
怪
fireworks
しい
can
動きです
miss,
ね
and in normal runs, if I miss one too many times, I gotta reset the run. For a marathon, I'm gonna do a handful of extra saves here to guarantee that I have just a bit extra so I don't have to be hoping that I don't miss in certain
何なん
fights.
ですかね木の横で剣が足元にある以外情報が全
Do
く
a
ない
few
んで
more
す
here.
が
Let's fifth save. Saving does way more than duplicate items in this game, however.
ああアイテム
Oh.
複写
There's a lot coming, okay? I'll just say that. Saving is what breaks this entire game.
タイトル画面に
And
戻っ
shout
て
outs to
再
Valiant
開する
North
を
on
繰り
speedrun.com.
返すごとに
When
ア
I
イ
was
テム
first
が
was
増え
looking
てる
into
み
this
たい
game, when I
な
was
グリ
curious
ッ
what the
チなんですか
speedrun
ね
would be like, they had documented all of these glitches in a guide on speedrun.com, and then it was up to me to sort of find new ways to implement them. And I did find a few new ways, including a very significant finding for one of the most brutal parts of the run. Now, the unfortunate thing with saving so much in this game is it does break the music. The music will come back, but saving so often does kind of cut the music out. And it's a shame because some of the music in this is pretty good. Okay, so we'll do one more time. This is like the maximum amount of safety saves. So we'll be pretty, we'll definitely be good on fireworks for the run. Won't have to worry about that. All right, now. I used that one gold piece and now I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch to Sam. 6, 7, 8.
もうなん
Switch
か
to
なんか
Pippin.
獲得しまくってるような
10. All right, we got 10 fireworks. We can continue with the run.
労働を繰り返したら増えるんじゃなくて何かやっ
All right, so we're just going to
て、
be
まあ、成功したのか
venturing
一
out
定
of the
回数やったの
Shire
かで今のなんか
and we're going
木
to
の
start
下
with
からた
our
くさん回収
sequence
みたいなのが
breaks
できたん
pretty
ですよ
soon. Now, combat in this is not random, so you will see enemies on the screen, and that's good because we're going to be manipulating them. But first, normally this is, we have to do a little quest for this guy, and he won't let us pass, but if we save the game,
またセーブしてる。
and reload back in, we can just pass right by him.
これは
And you will
本
notice
当
that
は
does
通
cut
れ
out
な
the
かっ
music.
たところ
Unfortunate
を
side effect. Or
セ
fortunate.
ーブロードしたことですり抜けた的な
And we're going to come up here to our first
感じ
battle,
ですかね。
which is a wolf. Now, every enemy in this game, including your own characters, every time they attack, they run
こうや
slowly
っ
up
て
to
なん
you
か
and
グ
run
リッチに
slowly
セーブ
back
と
to
ロ
their
ードを
original positions.
挟み込んでいると
Every
意外とこ
character.
う
Alright, so
セ
we
ーブ
got
時
lucky there.
間が
That
長
can
い
miss.
ん
We
で
one-shot the wolf, which is
結
good.
構セーブ画面を今後も見ることになりそうですけ
And
ど
we are
どんくらい
coming
グ
up
リ
on
ッ
our
チの頻度
first
多いんで
gonna
すか
save
ね。
here. This is our second
また
sequence
来た。
break. There's a cutscene here that will play with a ring wraith that will block our path, and we'll have to kind of like watch the cutscene, but I'm going to attempt to skip it here through menu manipulation. Bring up the save menu there. So I kind of like stored the save menu. So when it swaps over to what would have been the cutscene, I'm able to move during the cutscene. So this is saving like 10 or 15
もうなんか見
seconds.
つかったら殺されそう
And
な
very
強
important,
そう
need to
な
remember
敵
to
がい
switch
たんで
back
す
to
けど
Sam. Otherwise, the game will soft lock. There's a lot of ways the game can soft lock if I'm not on the right character or doing the right thing.
これが
And we're going to
指輪
solve
の
a little
勇気
stump puzzle here in a moment.
今原作のあらすじを眺めながら誕
And then
生
come and
日
get
を
abducted
迎え
by
た
the
日に
elves.
なんかホビットの仲間が
You'll
誕
notice that
生
this
日の日
game
に指輪が持
loves
つ力に
stump
ついて知
puzzles
っ
and
た
like
後旅に出
playing
て
various musical notes
で
off of these
なんか
things
さっ
in
きの黒い
various
馬に乗っ
orders to
た
advance through
や
the
つ
game.
が指輪の勇気っ
I guess
て
it's just
いう
sort
な
of
ん
a
か
way
キ
to
ャ
make
ラ
you
ク
feel
タ
like
ー
you're
で
doing
そいつ
something
に
else
追
other than
跡さ
just
れるのを
aimlessly
逃げ
walking
なが
around. Right,
ら
so we got a
旅をす
fairly
るみたい
difficult
な
skip
感じ
coming
で
up
したね。
here. This one may take me
全
a
く映
few
画の方は
tries,
覚えてないん
and
で
essentially I need
な
to
んか
bring
こ
up the
のあら
save
すじ
menu
を見ても
on
さっぱりなん
an
ですけど
exact pixel by this tree. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, I got it first try. That's really hard to do. Okay, that's good. So by bringing up my start menu on the exact pixel that I need to before, as it enters the cutscene, it will bring up the save menu and allow me to bypass and sequence break this entire section. So there are quite a few of those in the run. That's
主人公のおじさんが魔王の
definitely
力
one
の
that I usually don't get
源で
first
ある
try.
力の
So that's
指
good.
輪を
My
持ってた
estimate
ことが
accounts
旅
for
の始
these
まり。
skips were, several minutes for some of them. Okay, I need to make sure I save immediately here. All right, so saving immediately as you enter a screen, if an enemy is facing their original position, as you enter the screen, it's going to manipulate that wolf to take a glitched out path. You'll see here in a moment. It works. Okay, so now the wolf... Okay, we gotta retry.
ビルボから指
Actually,
輪
you know
を
what?
譲
We
り
have
受けた
so
フ
many
ロドは
fireworks.
ガンダル
I'm
フ
just
の
gonna
助
take
言
this
に
battle.
従い指輪を持って
See if
家
we
を
can
出
get
るっ
through
て
it.
書いてるんでこの111歳の誕生日を迎えたビルボさんが主人公のおじさんってことか。
Good. Okay. So normally what should have happened there is the wolf will take an upward path. I maybe just didn't wait long enough.
たまに
That's okay.
RPG ということを
We're gonna
思い出
save
した
here
かの
again.
よ
This
う
is
に
gonna allow, well, I won't spoil
戦
it.
闘しますね。お、また
But yeah,
こ
it
れ
would
は
allow
あ
me
れ
to
か
dodge
セ
that
ーブ
wolf
ロー
by
ドをする
essentially
とこ
setting
の
him
川
up
を
onto the
渡
top
れ
of the
ちゃう
screen
み
and
たい
taking
な。
a very wide path. All right, so now we can walk on water.
あ、来たー。ちょっとセーブロード便利すぎないですか。
Oh, we got the slightly weird variation of
あ、
this.
さっきコピーしまくってたアイテムがさっきの花火みたいな
Let's see
攻
what we
撃
can
入
do
る。
here. This is the kind of stuff that I got to account for in my estimate. Let's see what happens. Normally,
そ
I'm
して
able
セ
to
ー
cross
ブ
that
ロード
bridge
し
just
てなん
fine.
か 川
However,
の
here
上
we
を
weren't
水
as fortunate.
歩行してます
Let's
け
see what
ど、
happens. This is an adventure. I don't think I've ever gone
向
this way
こうには
before.
渡らないの。さらにそ
Let's see
こ
if
か
they
らなん
allow
か
me to
怪しい
pass.
ことをしている。
This might be a good time as well, Sam, if
テ
you
ー
got
ブロード
anything.
で
Go
川
right
を
ahead.
渡ると見せかけて画面外へ。
All right. I do have a $50 donation from Sanjan that says, Hi.
え
Hi,
画面外
Sanjan.
に
Also, I just want to remind everyone
ど
that
こ
we
行く
are
ね
still looking towards those bid incentives for saving Legolas or killing Legolas right now. Saving is in the lead at $90, coming in with killing Legolas at $25. So that could change at any point in time. You still have a little bit of time to get your donations in for that.
あれ、今なんか読める言
Alright,
語が
I
見える。
tried. I thought it would have been cool. Maybe we could have got it in a new way, but no, we're gonna reload the save. See if we can
気
get
の
this
せいだ
right.
ろうか。
Oh, okay. Well, that time it worked just fine. Okay, we're good.
ほら、
Onward with the run.
本当だった
But that
ら、
just
もし
goes
か
to
して
show
ス
you the
ムー
weird
ズに
things
渡
that can
れると
happen in
こ
this
ろ
run.
な
I
ん
still
かトラ
find
ブって、
something new to
変なと
surprise
こ
me
ろ
every
に
time,
行っ
and
たのか
usually
な。
it
そうそう
happens
そう
during a。
なんか
marathon.
今、一瞬
That one has
言葉
happened
が
to me
分かりま
before,
したよ
but
ね。
I think I was able to just like kind of correct it
日
and get
本
across.
語
That's
版
when I
が発
couldn't.
売されてないゲームだけ
Alright,
ど、
so
も
we're
しか
meeting
し
up with Mary.
て本体は
So we got the full Hobbit ensemble now. Gonna come over here and grab some reeds. And we're gonna trade those for some bog shoes so we can cross over into the Old Forest. Now, I do have to keep notes for the Old Forest because this place is very confusing, and if I make one wrong turn, it can really get me lost because it kind of like warps you around the different areas. So it's actually pretty important that even though I'm semi-confident on knowing the route, but I just like to be safe during a marathon. Here in Moria, because they are very labyrinth-like. All right, so we're gonna re-equip Frodo and Sam with squibs just to make sure that they've got a nice arsenal.
表現、
So
ホビットの
just
家っ
want to
ぽいと
drag
ころは
this.
すごくよく表現
And
できている
menuing
気
in
が
this
する。
game is extremely slow. This is not me taking my time to menu. The game is
ウィキペディア
just
だけだと文字情
like I
報
have
し
to
か
go.
ないん
Now,
で、
I'm
あれな
holding
んで
right
すけど、
there on the
なかなか
D-pad.
再現度はゲームボーイ
So I
ア
have
ド
to
バンス
hold
に移
right.
植
It
し
goes
て
all the
い
way
る中
right.
でも頑張ってる方なん
Very
です
slow menuing in this game. We're gonna pick up a mushroom. That's mostly just for safety of keeping characters alive, but it's more so in case you all vote to keep Legolas alive. We gotta have ways to heal him. All right, so this is where things can go wrong. We're hoping that we don't miss anything. That's good. Okay, good. That was a perfect fight.
花火強い。
And Merry and Pippin are getting a little tired. They want to take a rest, is what they're saying here. So they're like, okay, let's go up here and rest by this giant tree. But it captures them. And the funny thing is with the dialogue, it's like, oh, the tree has captured them. And then Frodo and Sam kind of just walk away like they don't care.
これは何？
But we're going to go free them. We need to get a
木み
certain
たい
item.
なのに仲間が捕まってそれを放置して戻ってる。
Now this is where I need to be careful because one wrong turn can also send me... I'm actually going to safety save a few times throughout here where normally I wouldn't. Because if I get distracted by my commentary and I walk into a plant battle, yeah, things can
そしてま
definitely
た悪いセ
get a
ーブで
little
すよ。
awry here. Better to be safe than sorry. One of the few instances where I'm saving to not break the game. Because the hit range, or the detection range rather, of the enemies is very large. So, like here, for example, there's a plant in the middle of the map right here. So I got to make sure that I go very wide to avoid him. And it's big. Like, if I take a little bit too many steps close to that, it will get me into a battle. Some of these battles are brutal. Alright, so we found the willow withies. Now you would think we'd backtrack the way I came, but no, we do not. We're actually going to go do something else. Pick up another item that we're going to need. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone in this
木
trip.
片みたいなのを拾って、今は先へ進むというよりもなんかお使いパート的な感じなんですかね。クエスト
Almost there.
かなんかのため
Okay,
に
so
拾い集
what
め
I'm
て
going to do here is I am going to make a couple extra squibs.
まあなんか
So
さ
in
っ
order
き
to do
捕ま
that,
って
once
たから
again, we
仲間の
drop
数がちゃんと減ってる。
Make a save. I'm going to do 2 saves here because upcoming is a battle against a spider. Now, ideally, I'll kill the spider in 1 hit. However, it can, in one of my recent practice runs, it missed a few times before it finally hit. We're hoping that that doesn't happen. But also creating extra squibs, even if I have them later in the run, can come in big use because I can equip them to the hobbits and have them do a lot of damage in Moria. Okay, so we're going to each give... We'll give Frodo 2. And we'll give Sam 1. Alright. Let's hope we... Oh, we actually had an extra one. I miscounted.
拾ってる。
Hope we kill the spider in 1 hit. Once again, enemies walking up very
これはあれ
slowly.
なんですか
Attack
ね。
and
所持
walk
数
back.
に
Imagine this with
限
a full
界があっ
fellowship.
て、コピーで最大数まで持っ
Alright, so
た
we're gonna get
後、
this
ある
blue
程
feather,
度
which
使
is
用
gonna
し
be
たら
used for
ま
a
た
certain character
コ
here
ピー
coming
し
up in a
て
little
補
bit.
充するみたいな感じなんですかね。
And for some inexplicable reason, the title screen music plays here. And back to the normal music. It's the only part that happens. Okay, so very slowly here. Didn't get caught by that with my commentary. Make sure we don't get caught by that plant. And here's another plant that I need to dodge. Be very careful. Go very wide. Alright, stump puzzle. Or appearance of a well, fan favorite character. Tom Bombadil. And we've already got the feather that he wants in order to tell us to get the Willow-Withies and whatnot. We've
新た
already
な
covered all the grounds.
新たな
So
登
you
場
have to
人
talk to him
物
4
が
times. Now, talking to characters in this game, I always joke that this is one of the hardest parts in the run, which is talking to Tom Bombadil. I need to like circle back and forth to re-queue his character dialogue box. As you can see, I'm definitely struggling here to get it to pop up. This is just Fellowship of the Ring doing Fellowship of the Ring things. I think that was the 4th time. Let me just double check. Should say something about Old Willow.
もう
Okay,
敵の
good. Just
判
wanted to make
定
sure,
がす
otherwise
ご
my
く大
trip
きい。
here, I'd have to come all the way back. Alright, now we go back to rescue Merry and Pippin. This is definitely like one of the most boring parts of the run.
途
There's
中の
not a ton of glitches
馬
and
に乗っ
skips
た
going
や
on
つは
here.
割とギリギリを避けてる感じがしましたけど、
But don't worry,
ま
it'll
あ
pick up.
敵によって異なるんですかね、そういうのは。
I once had an occurrence here where I went to rescue Merry and Pippin and they went to join the party, but I left them too quickly and they were like running after me trying to catch up. And it kind of
し
glitched out
て
the
なん
game
か
and I
よく
couldn't
わからない
continue.
けど捕まってた
So
仲
I'm
間
going
を
to take
救
my
出
time here, make sure that they actually join me. And once we're out of here, we can get back to some of the fun manipulations. For those of you looking to play this game, I would advise, if you have an analog pocket, and I'll get into this a little bit later, playing this game on an analog pocket, as I've found out this, few weeks leading up to this run, actually prevents a lot of the weird, terrible glitches from happening later in this game. So if you have an analog pocket, that is definitely the way to play this game. And I've also found out that my Japanese GameCube also prevents some of the later game glitches. My US GameCube is what was allowing a lot of them. I'm
今
currently
の
playing on my
家、
Japanese
明らか
GameCube. Don't
に
worry, I've got
外から
cards
見た
for
大きさ
later in the
と
run
中のサイズが合ってなかったで
for,
す。
for showing that stuff. I'll get into that a bit later as to what's going on. But yeah, my US GameCube is completely broken. It doesn't read discs anymore, so I can't get Game Boy Advance Player to run on this. But thankfully, because I have a million carts
あ
in
あ、
this
ジャパ
game,
ニーズなんち
that's
ゃら
not
って
an
言って
issue.
るなと思って、
And the
ゲ
good
ー
thing
ム
about
キュー
this
って言って
game,
ますね。
one run to the other, like one save on one cart versus another cart, it's usually 100% of the time the same stats, the same characters, because you don't level up like a traditional RPG.
だからさ
We're
っ
gonna
き
save here.
一瞬だ
It's actually
け言語
predetermined where you level
が
up for doing like side
読
quests
め
and
る言
everything.
語が映っ
So your
たんで
character
す。
stats, everything, character composition, the route itself, it's always the same. All right, so we need to come in here. Very careful not to... Okay, I knew he was going to do that. Let's see, if he doesn't do too much damage, we'll just
今
back
の
out.
は
Try
セーフ
again.
ティーセーブ
It's probably a
した
little
後
bit
に敵に
faster
見つかっ
than
てしまったっていう感じなんですかね。
trying to reload. So yeah, he just
あ、
was
なん
not...
か
I think I actually mistakenly manipulated this guy to run to the right. Yeah, oh, he's going to
リ
be...
タイアというかなん
Ooh,
か
he hasn't done this to me in a
リスター
long
ト的
time.
なコマンドを選
So
びました。
his detection range is really large, and I need him to move away from that helmet. He's doing the complete opposite right now. Oh yeah, he's being... He knows I'm in a marathon run right now. Alright, let's see what he does.
見つからないようにし
So
な
this would be
が
an
ら
automatic...
奥の
Oh,
スイッチを触ろう
he's
としてる
being
んですね
bad. This would be an automatic reset in the run normally. But we got a
なかなか
very
敵
healthy
が動か
estimate
ない
for
です
this
けど。
game. I might reload here in a sec. Oh yeah, we're gonna... Yeah, we're just gonna... Now I could try and kill him, but I don't want to be wasting my squibs, and I also don't want my hobbits
乱数が悪いんで
dying
もう
off.
一回やり直しましたね。
Let's see what happens here. I'm gonna move this way. Okay, so yeah, I think I actually mistakenly manipulated him the first time I saved when I entered here.
やっぱそっちスイ
So
ッチ
okay, that works. Let's see if he's out of my way here. Perfect. I have to keep that one in my back
確
pocket.
かに主人公のホビット君こう花火でしか敵を倒したのまだ見てないんですけど。
Coming up here, we're going to be doing another purposeful enemy manipulation. Ignoring all these chests and items, they're kind of useless. We're going to come down here and grab more reeds. Now I'm going to exit and re-enter this room and immediately save.
いや
Now what
ホ
that
ビッ
does is
トが
there's an
小
enemy
さいこ
blocking
と
the
を差
top
し
right
引
door
い
that
て
normally
も
will
宝
never
箱
move.
でかくね感
But
があ
by
りました
doing
ね。
this, it should force him off of that door to move to the right.
日本版
So I
の
can get
ゲ
by
ーム
without
キ
an
ュー
encounter,
ブ
and it
は
is a
ゲーム
multiple
の
enemy
バグ
encounter.
が少ないからよ
See, he
り
should
安
be
定
moving.
です。
Okay, it's clear. There he goes. And we're free. But before we do that, we got to put some weeds in a hole. It's a riddle. This game does this a few times. It's kind of weird. It's like, hey, here's this hole. You need to solve this riddle and put the item in the hole. Okay, now you can continue. So coming up here, we're going to be going to the Prancing Pony. We're going to meet Aragorn. It's a good opportunity here. If Sam, you got anything you want to fit in, this is a good time to do it. You got a minute or so.
Alrighty, so just a quick update on saving Legolas or killing Legolas. Right now, saving is in the lead at $90 versus the $25 to kill Legolas. We also have a bid war right now for who the ring is stolen from. In the lead is Boromir at $20, and next up
今
is
のところ
Pippin at
25分
$5.
経
So
ち
if
ま
you'd
した
like
け
to
ど、
change
粛
that,
々
you can get
と
your
旅を
donations
す
in
るだ
towards
けという感じで
that.
すね。
Boromir is
が終わ
definitely
った
the
ら
more
英語
interesting
版
choice.
の
Not to like
ゲ
sway
ー
the
ム
bids
キ
or
ューブの
anything,
バグを
but
見せる。
usually when I end a run, because it's all for fun, it doesn't really matter who I choose at the end. But Boromir is definitely the most fun choice at the end of the run. Saving or killing Legolas, I'm pretty impartial to it. Either or is fine by me. It'll definitely be a little bit harder for me to try and save Legolas. I'll have to do my best to keep him healed, because this game apparently thinks he's a tank. Should be Gimli, but no, Legolas is apparently taunting the enemies. Alright, so coming up next here, we are going to be taking that helmet that I found. And you guessed it, we're going to be sticking that in a hole in the wall to get out of Bree. And now we're free. Alright, so let me just get my notes up here, just because we got some puzzles coming up, and I got to remember the correct order on these. Once again, this game loves switch puzzles, stump puzzles. There's a lot more in the actual game compared to what I'm going to be showing here, just that we do bypass a lot of them. Okay, so you see me fumbling around here? This is the controls of this game. That was me attempting to move over that bridge. It's just really that bad. Okay, very slowly. There we go. And this is the last one.
なんか踏んだら石が浮き上がっ
And
た
that's
り
how the
沈
game
んだり
determines
する
levels,
ギ
as you
ミ
see
ッ
there.
ク
So we solved that puzzle. It's
なん
like,
です
hey, we're
ね。
going to
奏
give
者
Sam
さ
a
ん
level,
踏
decide
む
if he
順
wants to
番
attack
分かっている
or
からすごい
if he
ス
gets
ムーズ
HP.
に
I
ク
give
リアしてい
HP.
きますが、最初何の
It
ギ
doesn't
ミッ
really
クだろう
matter.
と思いました。
Okay, so we have what I consider to be the hardest save menu manipulation skip. Well, I take that back. Second hardest, but this will be the hardest one that I show in this run. I'm going to save before it, so I got to bring up the save
あ、
menu
これ
on, once
は
again,
な
an
んか
exact
何
pixel.
もないところだ
However,
ったん
this
で、
one
セー
has
フティーなんで
variables
すか
where it's
ね。
never in the exact same place, and I've tried testing why that is, and thought it was based on position. Wow, I just got it first try. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I gotta make sure I leave this dialog box open. That is not easy to do. I'm very happy with that. Yeah, I accounted for like 5+ minutes estimate on that skip. Wow, if this was an actual run right now, getting both of these dialog box skips first try would be really, really ridiculous. Alright, so we're coming up onto the part of the run that I alluded to earlier in the interview. The enemy skip that takes anywhere from 15 seconds to 15 minutes. Now, in a couple of my practice runs, I actually dodged it in like 15 to 30 seconds, and that was phenomenal. However, in some of my previous marathon runs of this, it
これ
can
メニ
take
ューとか
upwards
開
of
いたら
5
そ
to
こ
10
からマッ
minutes.
プって出
But
せ
we
る
are
んで
going
す
to
か？
have to go out of my way here
なんかミニ
to
マッ
grab a
プと
couple
か
of
の
extra
UA
healing
も
items
何
since
もな
saving
くて、奏
Legolas
者
isn't
さん
a
は
Wii
分か
right
って
now.
るからスイス
We're
イ
going to have
進
to
んで
pick
ま
up
す
a
け
few
ど、
extra things to make
正
sure that we can
直
actually
今
keep
ま
him
で
nice
ど
and
こを
healthy.
どう通ってきたのか
If that
が
does
もう
win.
全然わからないんですが。
I just can't. Now, because I'm playing on the Game Boy Advance player, there's input
画
delay,
面の
so
ラ
like
グっ
I
て
usually
るこ
struggle
とが
on
ゲ
these
ーム自
skips
体ラグっ
even
てるだ
harder.
ろう。こうなんか
So that's
基本的
still
には
kind
ス
of
ムーズに
blown
ぬる
away I
ぬ
got that
る動い
first try.
て、こうなんか配信の都合か
Okay,
なん
I'm
か
gonna
でち
put
ょっと
this
カ
one
クカクして
on
ると思ってたんですけど、
open.
もしかして違う？
All right, here we go. This is the enemy skip of the run. I'm gonna save here, and I hope some of you got some popcorn and some snacks. I may be here for a little bit. So we're gonna be getting trolled by a literal troll. That guy. I need to dodge past him.
いや、たま
Yeah,
に
he's gonna
た
be
ま
very
に
talkative
移動
during
しかして
this.
ないことなんで、
So
た
the
まに
basic
花火
idea
打ってま
is
すよ。
when I first picked up this run, the previous runner fought this enemy, and you have Aragorn and you have the 4 hobbits. However, you need absolutely really, really, really lucky RNG to be able to deal enough damage, not miss, because you do miss a lot in this game. Oh, that's okay. That might be good. I'm gonna save here and attempt to move past him. So they fought him because I guess they didn't know that one day I was just sitting here at this fight and he started moving. I'm like, wow, he moved enough. Like 5 minutes had passed, and all of a sudden he took a few steps, and I'm like, oh, I might be able to dodge past this guy. And sure enough, there's just enough room. If he moves just the right way, you can
あ、
dodge
でもやっ
past
ぱ
this
り
fight.
配信
And
の
if
ラ
you
グもあり
choose to
ます
fight him,
ね。
you can be on that
創
fight
世
for
さ
20
んの記
minutes,
録
30
動
minutes,
画を
hoping
今ちょっ
for
と
really
チ
good
ラ
luck.
見してるんです
You
け
have to have a
ど、
bunch of
ここま
fireworks to
で
hopefully do enough
なん
damage.
か
Aragorn not die. He pretty much
カク
one-shots
カ
most of the
クと
characters. If he
いう
hits them, they die.
か
Very
不自
risky
然
fight.
な
You
動
don't
き
want
は
to
し
take
てい
it.
ないん
So it's
で、
actually faster to try. Oh my goodness. This is one of the most lucky runs I have ever seen for this game. He just moved within 15 seconds. We could have been there for 15 minutes. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna let the producers know that this run's gonna be a little underestimate. Well, let's not jinx it. Some other things can go wrong. That is wow. I'm very surprised by this. This run never goes this well. Okay, we got our first real cutscene in this game. There are cutscenes in this. I was actually kind of looking forward to that taking 15 minutes. Not gonna lie. Because it is kind of funny hoping that he moves the right way. Because sometimes he can move up, sometimes he can move down. He just sometimes moves in ways that you don't want him to go. Oh, this part here is funny to me. Aragorn says to Frodo, he's like, Frodo, we're gonna hold back and fend off any ring wraiths. And then 5 seconds later, here come the ring wraiths. It's like, what was Aragorn and everybody else doing? His line of dialogue is, we're gonna wait here and fend off the ring wraiths. They didn't do a good job. Here's a cutscene. Cutscenes in this are actually kind of, they're neat enough for what they are in Game Boy Advance. Okay.
今のシーンはア
So
ニ
here
メー
is
シ
a
ョンと
really
して頑
complex
張れな
part
かっ
of
たか
the run.
ら、ああいった演出になったんですかね。
In that we want things to be broken in this game. And recently, for whatever reason, because I'm now playing this on my Japanese GameCube, because that's my only option, things have stopped glitching in Rivendell, and that's not good. So normally, I'm gonna go see Bilbo, and Bilbo would normally give me Sting, but it would be in the wrong spot, and he was supposed to give me the Mithril armor, but it doesn't give it to me in a normal glitch run. But lately, I guess because I'm playing on different hardware, I don't know how this works. I'm gonna be honest with you. The game is playing as intended, so normally Bilbo will be standing here, and he will drop Sting here and not drop the Mithril armor. But as you can see, this is the intended outcome of what should happen in the game. And I have tried really hard over the past week to find out what is causing this to happen. And I can't figure it out. I've narrowed it down to it has to be on a US Game Boy Advance player or US GameCube to have it glitch. I thought it was my Analog Pocket at first, but because that's what I was doing practice runs on, and I'm like, okay, let's try the Japanese GameCube. The game is playing as intended right now, which is the scariest part. You should be very scared when this game plays as intended. So we come in here and we trade. We show this elf Sting, so he gives us Gimli's axe. But here's the good news. This is a very scary part of the run for marathons when it is glitched, because you can get stuck here in a lot of different ways. The game can soft lock. So the fact that it is allowing me through here nicely right now is, we got to look at the good side of it. The one bad part about it is that we do miss a very funny glitch here where normally Gimli would be invisible. Gimli, right here in the glitched run, you have to talk to him and he's just not there. So we got to get his axe because the elves stole it from him, give it back to him. We got to talk to him twice, and as you can see, that's one of the hardest parts of this game, talking to characters twice. Come on. Did I already talk to him twice? Let's find out. Gandalf? Oh, I did, okay. So we're leaving from Moria. So I'm gonna need the winning bid incentive for saving or killing Legolas here in about a minute. Let's see what you guys chose.
いつの間にか仲間が
Now the bad part is, I am gonna have to swap my cart later in Moria so that I can fulfill the incentive for you guys for the glitched who gets the ring stolen from them at the end of the game. Because the only way I can do that is with a game that is glitched past the point of Rivendell. And this run will no longer let me do that. But like I mentioned earlier, it doesn't really change any of the stats of my characters or anything. The game is pretty much essentially the same. Depending on what the status of Legolas will be, though, I may have to improvise some healing onto him. Alrighty. So my commentary through Moria is going to be a little bit more intermittent.
そう
Oh, I got
誰
it.
が誰か名前は
Gandalf
全く
with
一致し
their
ませんが、
best equipment in the first slot. This just saves a little bit of menuing for me. Okay, he's already got it. So yeah, we're gonna need if we're saving or killing Legolas right here, pretty much.
We are saving Legolas.
All right.
うん、
So
おじい
first
ちゃ
time
ん
I'll
だ
ever
け
be
は分か
saving
る。
him in a run. So who knows? Maybe this will be new good tech. Maybe he'll be worth saving. So, as you can see, Legolas is in the. Here's the battles. Legolas is in the front row, and as you see, he is a magnet. Oh, okay, this is good.
すごい。
We're looking
全員
for the
戦闘
misses
に
on
参加するん
Legolas,
だ。
and you're gonna find out real quick in this game that I think there's about a 75% chance to miss your attacks. So with Frodo, we're gonna use our firework, and it misses,
RPG。
of course. Sam,
逆に
Of
逆に
course it misses.
RPG であ
We're
んまり
hoping
見
that
ない
hits
よ
because
ね。
it does
こん
10
ななん
damage.
か味
Okay,
方
that
側
one hit. That's
に
good. Mary, we're gonna
9
pass.
人も並ん
Aragorn.
で戦う
Aragorn can do
戦
between
闘シ
5 and 9
ーン。
damage. He did max damage. That's really good. Gandalf can do 5 to 10 damage. He did 9. Okay. Oh, hold on. We're gonna let Legolas go for that kill on that enemy there with almost no health. Boromir, he does 4 to 7 damage, I believe. Legolas, come on. They saved you for a reason. This is why I normally let Legolas die.
でもオートバトルとかないから一人一人行動順が回ってくるたびに
As you can see, so
なんか
pretty
武
much
器選んだ
enemies
り
on
と
the
か
top
して
of the
る
screen,
と
and there
結
tend to be
構
more
戦
enemies on the
闘が
top of the
長そ
screen,
う。
will always attack Legolas. That is why he always dies. But we're looking for him to be an evasion tank right now. We're gonna save that squib. Oh, I should have let that go to Legolas. It's okay. Aragorn stole his kill. That's alright. Gandalf is probably gonna get this one anyway. Alright. First battle down. So we're gonna come over here and we're gonna put this squib on Sam. Just because I do find that the squibs are very useful. We're gonna go back to Legolas and we're gonna pick up this eye rune. We're gonna come into his inventory. We're gonna drop it. And we're gonna do a bunch of saves to duplicate the eye rune, because if you weren't here at the beginning of the run, anytime that I drop an item and save the
もう
game, it
ホビッ
duplicates
ト
the
以
item
外
on the
にもい
ground.
ろいろ仲間
So
がい
just
る
like
か
we
ら
did with the
花火は
squibs
お
at the
役
start of the
御免
game,
なん
we're
です
now
よ。
going to be taking these runes that the game expects us to have a bunch of to get
花
through
火
this
芸
dungeon.
からたこ殴
And
り
we're
芸
going to be
になってます
duplicating
け
a
ど。
bunch of them so that way I don't got to go out of my way,
あ、いや、
solve
なんかしてる。
puzzles, fight enemies. We're just going to duplicate pretty much everything I need right
ま
here
た、また何か増やそうとしている。
so that we can expedite our way through Moria. And you know what? While I'm here, yeah, I'm going to go into the next room and get a health potion. And we're going to duplicate the health potion a few times, because since we are saving Legolas, we do have to have enough items to keep him nice, fit, and healthy. Gotta do this, I believe, one more time. Lost track a little bit there. That's okay, though. I think I gotta do this once more.
ルーンを複
Pretty
写。
much I just need to fill up Legolas's inventory with eye runes. We got plenty of time, on my estimate. If I make a couple extra saves,
これは
it's,
あれなんですかね、成
we're
功
definitely
し
on
た
track right now.
ら、もうすぐに複写ができ
Okay,
て、
so 1,
これ
2,
繰り返してるのは
4,
失敗してる的な感じなんです
6.
かね。
Perfect. Yep, okay.
どっちかわからん
So
な。
we're gonna come in here, and who are we gonna make our healer?
あ、でもなんかセーブロードした回数分だけ
No,
今アイテム
actually,
拾った
Gimli's a
感
good
がある。
friend, right? We'll make him our healer.
やっぱり
Oh, no, no, that's a
一
bad
回
idea.
タ
We
イト
wanna
ル
make
戻ってロードするたびに増え
Mary
てる
our
のか
healer.
知らんけど。
Oh, oops, this is the room where we just get a different weapon. That's okay. I got this room mixed up with another one. I'm not used to using the safety. Oh, no, it is. Okay, there's the health potion. So we're gonna pick that up. Gonna drop that. Save a couple times. This way we got plenty of healing for
また
Legolas.
床にアイテムを置い
Tank
て、
savior.
セーブし始めると複写なんですね。
Had to route this into the run, just in case people voted to save Legolas. Normally, I would just about maybe have enough healing to keep him healthy, but we want to make sure that we're staying true to our promise. Alright, that should be good enough. Yeah, you know what, one more. One more for the road. Alright. Stock that up on Mary. We'll actually put a couple on Pippin for good measure. Okay. That movement. And I'll also keep Legolas as the star of the show here. You can choose any character to be moving through Moria, but because you voted to save him, I will make sure that he is the star of the show at every point possible. Oh, we got the music back. Nice. So Moria is a very crazy, winding path. Very confusing point of the game. Here's our eye rune. And our first forced battle here. Oh, it's a big one. Alright. So yeah, this is pretty much Battles of Fellowship of the Ring in a nutshell. Ooh, the miss. Very nice, Legolas. Very nice. Characters can die. They can get hit enough with the RNG of missing and hitting that they definitely can get killed. Gandalf can die. Aragorn can easily... Pretty much anybody in the front row can die. Usually in a run that doesn't happen. But almost certainly always Legolas is the first one to go. We're going to leave that kill for him. Usually what I use Legolas for is, while he's alive, we let him pick off the weaklings. Let's see what he can do. Legolas is 0 for 1. Legolas is 0 for 2. Okay, oh, we got 2 potential easy kills for him. 8 damage, though. Okay. We're going to be doing some... Oh, alright, we're going to be doing some healing. Okay, good. Going to be doing some healing on Legolas. Now, for some inexplicable reason, as if the combat wasn't slow enough, the game gives you a cursor that you need to drag around the screen. Actually, let's see if Frodo can get a kill. Very nice. It's actually really hard to hit with Frodo, with Sting. You know what? We're going to pass our turn with the hobbits here. We want to leave that for Legolas. We want to show the viewers why Legolas is being saved. Some really good hit RNG here. Normally, I am not getting this many hits. Sometimes these battles can take like 5 minutes. All right, Legolas, show the viewers. Nice, okay. 1 for 3. Pulling his weight. So Legolas can do between 3 and 4 damage, which is the lowest damage of the frontliners. Okay. Well, let's just now. I know it looks like this orc is really close to dying, but we can get some really unfortunate hit RNG here. Gandalf, nice. You know what? We're skipping Boromir's turn. Legolas. Okay, all right. 2 for 4. That's not bad. Not bad. Alright, I am going to do some safety saves in Moria. Normally I don't do these safety saves. But you never know with this place.
今のでいいのなんか自分がプレイしてたらちょっとイラッとしそうなぐらいミスってたけど。
Very, very hard to navigate Moria. Very easy to get turned around and confused here. We do need to switch to Gimli. I usually use Gimli as my R. Yeah, I think that's an R. Yeah, it looks like an R. An R rune multiplier here, or duplicator. We only need to duplicate this once. It was actually kind of silly for me to do a safety save before this. I didn't think about that, because I was going to be saving here anyway.
R のルーンで何できるんだろう。
Pick that up on Legolas.
はい、でも、なるほどね。足元に置いたコピーして開けて、でも
So many
今
gates,
使
so
っ
many
た
doors,
け
so many
ど、さっきの
switches,
場
so
所に
many
まだ
rooms
ル
that
ーム
look
が落ちて
exactly
るの
the
ね。
same. This is pretty much the point of the game where most people quit if you attempt to play through this game normally. And the GameFAQs guide actually the guide on GameFAQs has warnings on how to avoid glitches and what not to do here. Because the game is just so messed up in Moria. It's messed up everywhere in the game. Alright, so we are going to save here because we have to try and dodge a spider. And this spider battle has 8 spiders, I believe. Huge, huge battle. Now, because we are playing the currently modified, like slightly more unglitched version of the game at the moment, we will be doing a big spider battle later that normally would be avoidable, but in this instance of the game, it is not. Alright, so we're... Oh, alright. Well,
なんかス
we
パイ
got
ダー
into
ス
this
パイ
one
ダーじゃない
anyway.
けど、
Okay, this is a
元は
4 spider battle. It's not as bad as I
戦
thought.
闘しちゃい
Oh,
ま
I
した。
gotta remember to heal Legolas too. Luckily, these spiders won't attack him. I think in this instance, it is easier for me to just retreat from the battle. Actually, you know, no, we're gonna fight it, I think. Because the thing is, heal Legolas. The problem is if I fail to keep dodging this, it can take a little bit. But we're also going to use this opportunity to heal up our hero, Legolas. We got plenty of health
なんか
potions.
さっきからちょっと気に
There
な
we
ってる
go.
んですけど、もしかして
Plus, this
キャラ
this
クター
highlights,
選
you
ぶ
know,
とき
just how
とか、
amazing the turn-based combat is in
フ
this
リー
game.
カーソルですか、これ。なんかたまによくわからない位置にカーソルが行くんですが。
But yeah, you can see I'm dragging around a cursor. For some reason, they felt the necessity to add even slower mechanics to the combat. All right, 2 for 6, or 3 for 6 rather, on Legolas's kills.
Do we
So
have
at the end
time
of
for a
these battles-
donation?
Yeah, absolutely. Go right ahead.
All right, we have a $15 donation from ChronoLink91 that says, "Gotta throw some support to Pete during his Lord of the Rings run. I remember my brother bought this game alongside Mega Man Zero, eventually giving me this game for free when I got a GBA of my own. I can definitely see why he did that after playing it and getting stuck on the hardlock screen in Moria. Best of luck on the run. I have greatly enjoyed watching runs of it both to see the rest of the game and hang out with Pete in the community on his streams. Here's to all the runs still to come."
Thank you for that, Chrono. Legolas, 5 for 8, I believe. Well, let's just keep track of his kills. 5 kills. He's actually, normally he misses a ton. He's got quite the
後
run
列
going
の
right
4
now.
人は、なんか、
Frodo always
完全に
misses.
戦力外ですね。花火を打つぐらいしかできてない。
All right. So yeah, we don't get any experience or any. You don't get
そもそも
anything
ター
for
ンが
winning
回
a
ってきて
medal
ない
in
で
this
すね
game,
あ
other
まり
than the satisfaction of doing it. We are going to put this squib on one of the hobbits. And you know what? I'm going to use this opportunity right now because we are going to be fighting a pretty big spider battle to duplicate
ここに積み
just
バ
2
グがある
extras
の
of these. Just to speed up the later battle a little bit. Like I mentioned, normally we'd be skipping the second spider battle, but fortunately, we do have to take it for this
また
run.
なんか増やしてる。
And Moria is a huge part of this game. I mean, this is gargantuan. The speed run of this, it takes me, it's like almost half the game. Moria, it's big. Okay, so we're gonna put 1 on you, 1 on Sam,
なんか体感ですけど、
Mary.
プレイ時
back
間の
to... Oh,
1割ぐらいは
Legolas is healed,
セーブロードしてる気がする。
way. Okay, so since we saved Legolas, I'm gonna go out of my way here to get him the best bow that I can currently get him in the game. And in order to do that, let's see, well, maybe it'll let me dodge it. Ooh. Oh, very nice. Nice. Oh, okay, we just dodged the spider. Very good.
また雲
Normally I
が
have
い
to
る
take
け
that fight
ど
if I want to get
弓
that
を
bow.
拾って戻る。
We're gonna put Legolas's. Let me just double check. 4 to 6. Yep. So this is the best bow that I can get Legolas. They do give him a better bow at the very end of the game when there's no more combat. Yeah, I don't know. This game makes really weird choices. Use one of my duplicated eye runes.
レゴラス君の杖弓ゲット。
Alright. So we got a little bit of a switch puzzle here. We want to bypass that switch. We want to go in here. This one first, actually. The switch. Come back to the first switch. Very, very enthralling, captivating puzzles, I know. Edge of your seat. Hit our final switch, and then this opens the giant gate.
6ダメージの弓が2番目にいい。
Okay. So, because the movement in this game is so terrible, I can actually make a incorrect movement here for this upcoming puzzle. So, I don't trust my movement or this game's movement enough. Normally, the safety save is not required, but it is really possible that because of the way that characters move in this, that I can misstep on the puzzle, and yeah, I don't want to have to solve a puzzle in real time having to think, so we're going to have to make a safety save just in case. Okay, we'll give Mary some health. Doesn't really matter. Northeast into this door here. You're starting to see how this gets a little crazy. All right, let's give Gandalf a health potion for no particular reason. Okay, so here I have to explain something, and because we are so far ahead on estimate, I will take this moment to actually explain the biggest problem with this game in a casual sense. So this is going to waste about a minute, but I think it's really important because this also sets up something further into the run. So normally here is a soft lock. And if any of you have ever tried to play this game, when you try to pass through this door, and this is just good to know in general if you plan on playing this game, good luck to you. Your game will freeze as you pass through this door. Now, as I've learned, depending on the hardware that you play on, that could help minimize it. Analog Pocket, apparently a Japanese GameCube, but if you're playing on a US GameCube, in my experience, when you pass through here, your game will freeze and there's nothing you can do about it. Now, normally in my runs and in past marathon runs, what I had to do here was as it transitions through this door, as it starts fading to black, you need to, on the frame that it starts to transition, pause and save your game. Then that way when you load back into the game, it will actually allow you to soft lock itself and unfreeze yourself and continue with the game. Now, because I am playing in, suddenly the game is inexplicably not glitching at this point, I am going to be able to pass through this door just fine without any glitches and carry on my merry way. Now, because of this, because we are on the unglitched point of the game in Moria, at the end of Moria, I am going to have to switch to a separate cart, which is in a glitch state. There's a battle I'm going to have to do with 3 or 4 enemies or something. Legolas will be dead in that save. I do have to resurrect him. So that's going to take a moment. But then after we get out of Moria, immediately after that fight, the game will be back in its glitched form, which will allow me to choose who the ring is stolen from, okay? So I wanted to explain that here while I have a chance, because it's a little hard to explain all that as I'm going through this. Okay, and as I imagine what happened, We are free
あ
to
でもも
move.
ともとゲームボーイアドバンスだからゲームキューブで遊ぶ
However,
こ
this
と
does complicate things
に
because, oh
な
boy,
んか
the battles are going to
追
be a
加
lot
の
harder.
通
Okay,
っ
we have
た
to hug
瞬
the
間
right
に
wall
セー
here
ブロードす
to
れば積みを下げるってもうそ
avoid
れ
that enemy.
グリッチだグリッチと呼べない
Thankfully,
ん
we
です
got
け
our
ど
hero Legolas here to save the day.
正規
Oh,
ルート
one
で
thing I
は
need to make sure I do is make sure that
実
my
は今までの
hobbits
繰り
are
返し
properly
行われていた
equipped
セ
with
ーブロード
squibs.
もこのゲームで
That's
は正規ルート
That's
悪いことじゃな
fine.
い
We're gonna equip that. Actually, no, I'm gonna drop this. Oops, what am I doing? Because, so here's something else that happens when the game is in an unglitched state. Normally when it's glitched, there are
グリ
two
ッチを直
forced
す
battles. In the glitched version, there's only one enemy in those battles. In the current state that I'm in, I think it's like the full gamut of 3 to 4 enemies per battle, which is actually really brutal for the end of Moria, because that's when your characters start getting a little bit low on health. And that is the version that I'm going to be doing for this run. So I actually need to make sure that I'm well stocked on fireworks, which we'll totally not miss in that battle. And we got Legolas to help us do 4 to 6 damage as well. So thank you for voting to save him. So we'll do one more save. I think that should be plenty of fireworks for the 4 hobbits. Once again,
まあ
saving,
マイナ
duplicating
ス
the
にマイ
item
ナ
that
ス
I've
かける
dropped on
と
the
プラ
ground,
スになりますしグリッチ
as
に
we've
グリ
done
ッ
with
チを
health
ぶつけた
items
ら正規
and
ルートになりますよそりゃ
fireworks. Okay. Equip that on Sam. How many do you need? You need 1. You need 1. Frodo probably needs 1. Yes. And we can actually give... Let's give Boromir some fireworks. Okay. There's also a battle at the very end of the run when in the glitch state. I'll explain it when we get there. Ooh, this is a battle room. I gotta be careful, I think. Oh no, wait, that's not the spider room. Okay. Where we'll have the full fellowship as my party as opposed to just Frodo. It's pretty significant. You'll see.
もうタイム的にはおそらく終盤なんだと
Come on,
思うん
Legolas,
で
you
す
can
け
do
ど
it. There we go.
なんか RPG としては全くこうボス戦とかなんかそういったのが一切ないんですね
Got
このゲーム
Gimli coming back into the picture here in a moment. Oh. Did I not put the Did I not pick up the 2 R runes onto Gimli? Oh, well, that's interesting.
何
Well,
K のルールを
thankfully,
持ってる
this
のは誰み
is
たいな
very
感
close to where that backup card is.
じなの
Let's see. All right. Well, that's a first. All right. We do not have the R rune for this. Let me just see if there's one laying around here. If not, I gotta pull up my backup cart. Wait, what's this? Please, oh, please be an R rune. I beg you.
K じゃないのかあれ R か
The run is saved. Thank you, Lord of the Rings, for actually having some common sense for your item placement. Oh my goodness. You know, I should reroute that. It makes more sense to just grab that rune rather than duplicate it. Okay. Enter. All right, let's get back into the right mindset here. Okay, so this is I believe the room where normally the spider won't be, but now we're going to have a spider. Yes, I'm going to save just in case. So, like I said, in the glitched cart, this fight is not here. But it's here for your enjoyment. Oh, okay, it's 6 spiders. Might take a bit.
すごい敵側も6体いる。
And they're going to be going for Legolas, but don't worry, we got health potions. At any point in this battle, if you've got anything, Sam, donations, reminders, really cool shadow box, by the way, for those of you that are
英語版
getting in on the action during this run. It's beautiful. I encourage you all to go to the RPG Limit Break website and look at the zoomed in picture that they have for that thing. It is gorgeous.
おさっき増やした
So
花火が
if you
猛威を
need
振るってい
extra
る
reasons to jump in on this run, believe me, that is a good reason to do it.
All right, yeah, and of course, as you mentioned there, we do have some prizes that you can donate towards. We have a Golden Sun desk mat with a minimum donation of $10. That looks amazing. Also, we have a quick donation, $20 from Smelly McTroll. 1 jank to rule them all. Runner's choice incentive. So looks like we have. Still an incentive for who the ring is stolen from, with Boromir in the lead, Pippin coming in second. Who is your choice there, Pete?
I definitely want it to be Boromir. if that's going to be my runner's
All
choice,
right.
definitely Boromir.
All right.
And thank you, Smelly. Yeah, this game's very janky indeed. But we love jank around these parts. Come on, Gandalf. Show them the... Okay, that was pretty good.
だから
And just for the
ミス
fans,
が
we're
多い
gonna
な
pass
と思い
Boromir's
つつも
turn.
キャ
Sorry,
ラク
Boromir.
ターによって命中率の幅
So
がすごいありそう。
Legolas can get the kill.
おじいちゃんの攻撃とか全然外れないですもん。
Alright, this is a save room. I'm gonna attempt to dodge this spider. I don't want to take every battle in this game, you know? We'll see if we can dodge this one. Also, I'm gonna top off some characters with health. I think Legolas needs a little bit of healing. Yes, he does. We gave Gandalf a health potion. Actually, you know, I might want to use that on Gandalf. Yeah, let's use that on Gandalf. Who else has my health potions? Mary. We're gonna use that on Legolas. And I think that should be good. Okay. Ooh, Spider's being kind. Back to Legolas. Think he's far enough away for me to dodge?
ゲー
Yes,
ム
he
機
is.
によっ
Put that
て
up
ま
for
る
good
で
measure.
全然違うゲームになる。
All right, we're getting towards the end of Moria. We still got 2 big fights coming here, though. A little scary, these fights, but we could always reload if things go awry. Dodge this enemy. Let's see. Let's give a squib to Sam. Alright, we got a little cutscene here, and a water break for me.
お、まだイベントか
Wow. I've never heard this song before. If you don't mind, I'm actually just going to take a second to listen to this. This game is normally always glitched for me, so I've actually never had music here. Okay. Alright, that's a new track. Now I'm getting turned around here. Let's see here. This way.
奏者が弾いたことがない音楽だ。一応奏者さん こ
This
の
guy.
ゲ
This
ームの
guy.
この
My
カテ
runs
ゴリ
usually
ーで
never make it
1
this
位で
far.
す。
You'll have to excuse me. They always die before this point. All right, here is the first unglitched. Oh my god! All right, this is the first unglitched battle. Normally one enemy.
ま
We
あ
got
走
four.
者2名中1位とはいえ、
We're gonna need all the misses we can
世
get
界1
from
位が
our front row
出
here.
ないってどういうことですかね。
We're even gonna get Frodo in on the action. Why not? There you go. Nice. We loaded up our hobbits with squibs. Let's see what they can do. All right, good. We got a hit.
ちなみに記録
Get it,
動
spread the
画
damage here.
2名登録あるんですけ
Not what we're
ど、
looking for. Try and pick them off.
走者
We
さ
don't want
ん、
any
今
stragglers.
走
If
ら
we
れ
can
て
pick
る
them
走者
off
さん
in
の
our
記
turn,
録
we
が2
will.
年前で、
We're gonna leave that
58
for
分
Legolas because
42
Gandalf does the most damage in the
2
party.
位の人が1
potential,
時
at
間
least.
10分36秒なんですけど、記録
Oh,
が
we
8
gave
年
Boromir
前ですね。
a. Now you know what? We'll
8
save
年
that. We'll
前
save
に
that for the next
お
battle.
一人だけ
I gave him
走
a
られてい
squib.
たゲームに2年前にこの奏者さんが
All right,
参
Legolas.
戦したという形ですね。
Nice. Okay. Looks like everybody made the right choice saving Legolas. He's actually helping the run.
普段グリッチのせいでその音楽が聞こえない説。
Slowly stepping forward, every enemy. But one thing you got to commend it for, it's a bit immersive. Around this time, there weren't a lot of turn-based RPGs that showed your characters walking up to the enemies to hit and swing and
なん
walk
かなんですか
backwards.
ね、普
I
段
know we
も
laugh at it now, but a
し
lot
か
of
して日本の
especially
ゲーム
handheld
キューブで
RPGs,
や
I
っ
mean,
て
that
な
was
いとかそん
unheard
な
of
感じなんですか。
for the most part. It was mostly just static characters. You'd be lucky if you got some animations. Of course, you know, there are exceptions like Golden Sun, of course, the best Game Boy Advance, in my opinion. Game Boy Advance RPG. I mean, that game is a great example of sort of like immersive character interactions with enemies. Thankfully, though, they leap. They don't slowly walk and backtrack every attack
場所に戻るの
like this
に
game.
後ろ戻りで
But there is
交代
something to be
で
said for
戻
what
る
they
の
were going
結構
for
しい。い
here.
やで
I
も
think they knew how short
敵に
this
背
game
を
was,
向
though.
け
They
るわ
wanted
け
you
にはい
to
かないんで
really
仕方ないんじゃないですか。
maybe try and enjoy the battles. Stay in them for far too long.
結構地味に
Really makes me wonder
ホ
how
ビ
many
ット
people
たちも
actually beat this game
なん
with all
か
the glitches.
半分ぐらいはダメー
Can't
ジ
be
与えて
many.
ますよね、他キャ
You
ラ
almost
の。
never hear of people beating
こ
this game without
の
using some sort of
右
guide
端の
to
黒い
bypass the
剣士
glitches.
が
So
大
if you
体
had
ミ
this
ス
game
なん
back when it
で
came out,
正直
I'm not really sure how you would have beat it
ダメージ効率的には後列のホビ
unless you
ット
knew
の方
about
が
the
ダメージ
saving
与えて
so
るん
you
じゃないか
bypass these
説ありま
things.
す
All
よ。
right, Legolas.
おじいちゃんと
Nice, very
弓矢
nice.
は大体当たるのに対して剣の攻撃が全然当たって
And I
ない。
believe they might have had a sequel to this planned, potentially in the same RPG sort of like book universe, but I imagine that, well, it didn't come to fruition. But as a fan of Lord of the Rings, I still think you should try this game. It's a nice little oddity. The dialogue is very faithful to the books. And me personally, my favorite Lord of the Rings movie is Fellowship
ほう
of the
ほうほう
Ring,
主
so this
人
is
公のホビットは強
you know,
い
it's
剣
kind of
を
fun to
も
go
らって
through.
たはず。
Except after you've gone through it a few dozen times, it starts to lose its fun. Okay, we're gonna
それ
save
でなん
again.
と
Now
か
this is another battle.
ダメー
This
ジ
is
を出して
essentially the
るね。
gauntlet. Where normally it's
これ
one
はまた
enemy in the
敵
glitch
がいる
state,
か
but
ら
I
セーフティ
believe
ー
it's
セー
gonna
ブ
be 3 enemies here. And if memory serves me right, this is the last battle before the final
そう、
confrontation where we're gonna switch them apart.
剣を持っている
Oh, man, it's a
真
4.
ん中と右端
It's
の
a four
攻
battle.
撃が本当当たってな
Okay,
い。
we're gonna have to heal Legolas, unless he keeps dodging. That would be nice. Gandalf is at risk here. Ooh, everybody's at risk. Okay.
だから前
Let's
衛
choose our
軍の
healing
HP
wisely.
が
All
危
right,
なくないで
Frodo.
すか。
We gotta make sure Legolas survives though, so that's a
あ
first.
回復しら。
Pippin, save Gandalf
確かにホビットの
for sure.
一人だけ剣で攻撃できる
Mary
けど残りは
save Aragorn.
攻撃アイテムがないです。だから花火が尽きると
Now we
攻
wail on
撃
him.
手段がないみたいな感じ。おじいちゃんも外
And
す
to。my knowledge, this is. Oh, actually, you know
なん
what?
か2分1ぐらいじゃないですか。命中率。
This and
花火も
Third
3
Age
人
are the
中
only
2人にしか
turn-based
1人
RPGs
しか当
in
たんない
the
し。
Lord of the Rings franchise for
しか
games,
も
right?
花火ってこれ直
Which
撃
is
した
kind
や
of
つに
neat.
10
This
ポ
is
イント、
definitely one that
左右
not a
に
lot
1
of
ポイント
RPG
みたいな
fans are
感じ
aware
な
of.
ん
When
で、
people
直
think of
撃し
Lord
た
of the
や
Rings
つ
on
に
Game
する
Boy
と
Advance,
ほ
they
とん
think
ど
of the
ダメージ
action
与えて
game
ない
as
で
like
すよ。
Two Towers, Return of the King. Not a lot of people are aware of this game's existence.
まあ、敵も外すから、
The one thing that you could do is
バ
if
ラ
you
ンスが
do
取れてるのかもしれない
decide
で
to
す
play
け
this
ど、
yourself and the game
そ
facts
れは
guide
結
isn't
局
really helping
RTA
you out
的
with
には
some
遅
glitches you
延
run
行
into,
為で
you
は。
could you can honestly check my past marathon runs for any section or even this section, and it'll probably get you past whatever problem you're experiencing. Except for maybe Rivendell. Rivendell can definitely, if you save in there at the wrong spot, you can definitely get stuck in Rivendell and have to reset your entire game. So if you're not aware of where you should and should not be saving in this game,
結
you
構いい
can
感じに当たっ
totally
ている。
get into instances where you need to reset this game multiple times just to beat it.
Oh,
And we're
no,
not
no.
talking like loading a game save, we're talking you're starting fresh from the beginning of the game. So if that doesn't sound fun to you,
信じられるのは弓矢だけとか
I don't
思
know,
ったら
maybe,
弓矢も
maybe
外
don't
す
play
し。
this.
そうですね、今3連
However, if
続
you're
ミスじゃない
interested
で
in
すか。
speedrunning, I think there's a lot of meat left on the bone for this game.
まとも
I
に
always
ダメージ
find
出せるの
new
6
little
人しか
things
いない
here and
の
there. I think
に、
there's a lot of
そ
room
のうち
for
3人がミス
new
でしたよ。
exploits to be found. Pretty much every screen in this game can be glitched and exploited with like out of bounds in some way. However, it leads to different soft locking states because it does different checks and balances to make sure that you
確かに、
have what you need
確かに
to
なんか
get
こ
through
れ
the
を見
game.
ると
But if you're
今
a
ま
glitch
で結
hunter
構当たってたんだ
and
な
you're
感があり
looking
ま
to
す
further
ね。
help break this game, I think there's some discoveries to be made with this still. And if you're a runner, I think you can also, you know, not necessarily a devoted glitch hunter, I think you can play around and find some new stuff potentially. And it's a really easy speed run to get into. It's a short run. It's pretty
い
straightforward.
や、なんか
The only
弓矢
learning
っ
curve to it is going to
て
be the
外
actual
さないイメージが
sequence
す
breaks
ご
with the
い
save menu. Those are
高
definitely
いんですけど、
not the easiest. And
弓矢
also
も普
learning
通
to
に
do
外れるんです
learning
よ。
what
なん
to
か
do when things go
実
wrong
際リアル
and how
に
to
考
fix
える
it.
と弓矢って外れそう感がありますけど、ゲームで言うと割となんか命中率に関するものが
So you
弓矢
can
の
feel
火
free to
力に
reach out
相
to me
当
if
す
any
る
of you
か
ever get
ら
into this and you
当
have any
たるイメージ
questions.
がすごい高いんですよ。このゲームは弓矢も当たり前のように外す。
I've
デ
always
ック
wanted
下
to
げろデッ
grind
クス
out
ですよね。
shorter runs of this. It's just that I never wanted to endure. And this is a classic example of combat in this game. I mean, this is normally how battles go in my runs. But I just normally never want to grind this game out because the RNG is so heavy.
4
That
体の
troll
敵を
dodge that I
倒すの
did
に
within
6
like
人がかりで
20
何
seconds
回
of
攻
this
撃して
run.
んの？
Like I mentioned, that's a huge reset point. If midway through the run, you just are at the mercy of an enemy moving, which can take 15 seconds or 15 minutes. That's not for everybody. I love randomness like that in RPGs. I mean, I'm personally a big fan of RNG, heavy RNG and speedruns for RPGs because it keeps the run fresh, it keeps it interesting. I mean, heck, I've done full runs of Dark Cloud, and that whole game is RNG, but I love it because every run is different. Every run is never the same, and it keeps it exciting. All right, we took out the second gauntlet battle. And now, just make sure we're not forgetting anything. We have come to what is supposed to be the final battle. Now, this is where I've been
この
mentioning
ゲー
throughout
ム
the
記
run, I
録
do
狙おうと思っ
need to
た
switch
ら
carts
戦闘中
because
常
after
に
this
攻
point,
撃が当たることをお祈りし続
in
け
this
ない
run
と
that
い
I'm
けない
doing on this cart right now, the game would no longer be glitched and I would not be able to fulfill the donation
あ
incentive.
確かにレベルでゴリ押
So
す
I
ゲ
need
ー
to
ムで
swap to
低
another
レベ
cart.
ル
As I
プレイして
mentioned,
る感はありますけ
I'm
ど、
going to just have to duplicate a
実
couple
際には
of
多
healing
分そん
items
な
to
こと
keep
ないんでしょう
Legolas
ね。
alive
敵
through
の攻
this.
撃もこっちにほとんど当たっ
And
てな
then
い
we'll
です
be
し、
good to go. I just hope this goes
単純
right.
にこのゲーム
Make
の
sure I don't mess this
命
up.
中率自体がなんか、お
Got my bagged specimens here of my save states. So this is not the one I want.
なんか
An area before final fight. Legolas is dead. Glitch confirmed. All right, here we go. We found
っぽいですね。
what I need.
あ、インセンティブがあるからカードリッジを交換なのこれ。
My GameCube is
Ito.
very finicky at the moment.
間に合わないから的なんじゃないんです。
I hit a button. My controller almost fell. Okay. Thankfully, we can. I'm a little scared because my GameCube right now has a really hard time reading my boot up disk. And I'm just gonna place my controller in a safe spot as I do this. And if I have to like try and turn on my GameCube again,
カードリ
it's
ッジ
not
一
gonna
つ
be
一
good.
つも。
This is the scariest part of the run right here. Now, of course, yes, this invalidates the run, but for marathon, it's for the entertainment at least, right?
あれ
It's not like
か、
I was on marathon or
指輪を
record
盗ま
pace or
れる
anything.
のをどのキャラクターにするかみたい
Okay,
な、
so I just got to do a couple things here before we do this final
ど
fight.
うかな。うん、ピンクパジャマさんがいなかっ
All
た
right, let's see who
ら、
has the
完全にわ
healing
からなか
items
った。
on this run.
なんかこの、ロード・オブ・ザ・
This is
リングのストーリーを知ってる知
red
知らな
mushroom.
い
We're gonna
関
drop
係な
that.
く分かんなかったと思う。
And we'll duplicate that 2 or 3 times. Get Legolas back into the fight. Now, the only thing that I worry here, because this is like a new discovery for me with this like glitched, unglitched state of the game. The only thing that I hope is that by saving here, it keeps the glitched state going further. We're gonna find out together. All right, one more. It should. I'll be able to know once we get to Lothlorien. Okay. Legolas, rise from your grave, please. See what his health is at. Okay. Let me just make sure. Okay, Pippin does have a backup. And just to be extra sure, because this is
そ
one
の
of the
キャラ
bigger
クターが持
fights.
ってるアイテムを使う
Make
た
sure
び
that we
に
don't
操作キャ
disappoint
ラ
the
クタ
Legolas
ーが
fans. I'll
きちんと入
duplicate
れ
this
替わっ
2 more
てるの
times.
は細かいと言うべきかちょっと煩わしそうと言うべきか悩むところです
We're
ね。
really not going to be doing any more saving after this anyway, so enjoy what I believe, unless I do a safety save, is like the last save of the run. I know you all love this screen. Thankfully, I did my skips so quickly earlier in the run. We got so much time to be doing shenanigans like this.
英語版のゲームキューブでセーブをしてそれを日本語版のゲームキュ
Believe
ーブで
Legolas is
プ
almost
レイ
topped
する
off.
と半分グリッチの
Yes,
状
all
態。
right. Here we go. And because it's in the glitch state, the music's gone. This is normally how it goes. And you know what? Now, the more I think about it, for a marathon run, having an unglitched state Moria is actually kind of nice because you do get music. Normally, the run is entirely silent and all you hear are just the grunts
で
of
きるこ
orcs.
とですね。
So, in a way, it's kind of nice on the ears. Alright, we'll leave the pickings there for Legolas. We'll see if he can finish that orc off. And, oh, he didn't. He only dealt 1 damage. We'll try and finish him with... Gimli has terrible accuracy, but in that case, he followed through. Just a heads up as well. It's about
これがお
10-ish
そらく
minutes
このゲームにおけるラスボス戦みたいな感じになるのかな。この後
who we
も
will be stealing the ring from.
戦闘はなさそ
So anybody looking to get in on that? The time is approaching soon. So I like to call this the final boss of the game. There is one more fight, but it will be a glitched fight where normally we're supposed to have just Frodo, and it's bad, it's miserable. You actually have to do 2 fights as Frodo, normally, versus 1 enemy. But the enemy almost one-shots you, and Frodo does almost no damage, so you have to have a bunch of
う。なんか
fireworks to make sure that you're
めちゃ
able
く
to
ちゃ
deal with
硬
it.
くないですか敵。
Ooh,
しかも
Legolas
ミス
getting
も
low.
ある
Don't
し。
worry, I got you, Legolas. Okay, good. But in the glitched version, we get the full fellowship, which really speeds up the endgame. Legolas topped off. See what I mean though? Legolas just a magnet, because most of the time in these battles, the enemies do congregate in the top portion of the screen, so it's normal to have 2 to 3 enemies just wailing on Legolas first, because they're kind of in his line of sight.
ほ
And
ん
if you
と
got
攻撃
anything,
が当たら
Sam,
ない。なんか、敵
that
の
would be a
HP
pretty
倍ぐらい
decent
で
point
計算しといた方
to
が
get it in.
良さそうなぐらい当たってない。
All right. Well, like Pete said before, we have a little bit
こ
of
の
time
後一
left.
発
So you
だっ
can
てい
get
う
your
敵に何
donations
回攻
in
撃する
on
の
who the ring is stolen from. Right now, Boromir is in the lead at $40, with Pippin coming in second at $5. You can also decide between Aragorn, Frodo, Gimli, Legolas, Merry, and Sam. So you should get your donations in right now for that.
Sadly, no Gandalf. The game is glitchy, but it's not glitchy enough to bring Gandalf back from the grave. But there is a cool little cutscene to go along with it. Ah, yes. Typical Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring combat. Miss, 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 miss. Miss,
ミ
miss.
スミスミス。
Come on. Alright, I'm gonna heal Legolas just for extreme
なん
safety
か
here.
もっと
'Cause
こ
he's getting a little low, and if we
う
have
攻撃
another
を
round
回
with
避
every
し
one of my
そう
characters
な
missing, this could be
敵で
bad.
こんだけミスしてるのはわかるんですけど、敵多くとかですからね。
Alrighty. Here we go. Actually, we'll send him off the right way, as Gandalf. Wait. Okay, there he is. I'm like, where's the Balrog? So he comes in as a big,
What's going on with
glitchy
that?
mess of pixels. It's actually a decent sprite animation. And the most infamous scene for Fellowship of the Ring. He shall not pass. Not in Fellowship of the Ring on Game Boy Advance. In a nice little cutscene. I think the cutscenes are pretty cute in this, honestly. They're pretty well done for static images.
ガンダルフはバルログと戦って深淵に落ちる。今のがバルログらしいですよ。
Alright. In the typical fashion for this game, we're going to be going out with one more silly puzzle. So for some reason, we need to come here and run around in a circle as Legolas, and then run around in a circle as Gimli, and then run around in a circle as Boromir,
最後の
and
キ
then
ャラク
hope.
ターを
Okay, good.
変えながら
I've
石
had
の
this
周
glitch
り
out
を
on me
回ってる
sometimes
の
where
は
the elves don't come for quite some time. So apparently to get into Lothlorien, we gotta walk around
あ
in
の謎の
circles.
儀式を行うとこのなんか集団が現れるの。
And we're in. And thankfully we have the glitch state. How do I know? Because the elves are just entirely black. There's no texture to them at all. So that's good.
で、ここがエルフの国なのかな。
Alright, let's see. Bottom,
いやまあ完全に不審者ではあった。
top, right, bottom.
あの儀式は必要な儀式だったんだ。正規ルー
Alright,
ト
we're。just gonna venture through Lothlorien. It's actually a really nice looking area. Pretty colors.
むしろあの
Look, I
正
mean, look at
規
that. Just
ルー
take a
トを
moment.
どうやった
That's
ら知
that's
るん
some
ですか
good
ね。なんか
background art
そ
for
う
Game
い
Boy
う
Advance, right?
指示がどっかにあったんですか。
Shame the rest of the game doesn't look this good. Oops. Getting turned around here. right, and we're
逆に
almost
原則に書いて
sailing
あ
on our voyage.
る
Galadriel gonna hook us up with some gifts, which will never be used in the run, because we're fast approaching the end of this game.
なんかこのゲーム、原作は知らないけど、このゲームで指輪物語を知ったんだみたいな人、初見殺しするような
Do
ギ
you
ミッ
have
クじゃない
time
ですか、
for a
そ
quick
れ。
donation?
Yep, absolutely. And the cutoff point will be coming pretty quickly for who we're going to be stealing the ring from in a couple minutes.
All right. We have a $50 donation from At the Violet Hour. So glad RPG Limit Break is back. Always a pleasure to see a run of a game I've never played from a franchise I love. PeteDorr, you bow to no one.
ここで
Alrighty. Pick up our gifts.
贈り物、
And
ガラ
off
ド
we
リエ
go.
ルから贈り物を受け取って、一行は川を行
Alright,
く
now we're
が、
hoping that we keep the glitch state here.
ほうほうほう。で、なんか指輪が仲間の何人かに
And
悪い
thankfully, it
効
looks like
果
we
を及
did
ぼす
because
こ
there's
と
no
を
characters
悟
on
り
the
始
screen
め
yet,
る。
which is a
で、
good
指輪
sign.
の影響を受けて、
Aragorn's
ボロミア
talking
が
and he's
フロ
not
ドか
there.
ら指輪を
Come
奪
on,
おうとす
spawn.
る
There
ん
we
ですけ
go.
ど、そこを
Alright, so
な
I
ん
gotta be careful
か
here. We gotta dodge around some enemies, and the fact that there's no music
ブ
also
リッ
tells
ジ
me that
で
we're in good form here.
なんか変えてるみたいですね。
I'm gonna be switching to, well, actually, okay, I'm gonna actually need to know the bidding for the incentive for who is stealing the
ボロ
ring,
ミアがボロミアから
Who is-
指輪を奪
who the
う
ring is being stolen from,
み
rather.
たいですね。
All right, the ring is being stolen from Sam.
Interesting.
一体
Okay,
どういうことなん
let's
だ。
see. We'll bring out Sam here. Out of nowhere, Sam swapping in. I mean, he always wanted to help out Frodo with bearing the burden, right? So I guess in this case, he's really helping out. We're gonna change. So I should point out here, normally a cutscene would be playing, where the Fellowship would actually be holding up Frodo, and they're like, okay, Frodo, take an
ボ
hour
ロ
to
ミア
think about
は
this, what you want
あ
to do,
の
because he's like,
頻
listen, I
繁に
want to
攻撃
go.
を外し
I
て
want
た
to go
剣
off on
の
my
人
own. They're
ね。
like, take an hour to think about it. The Fellowship stops him, and they depart. But in this instance, the Fellowship never stops him. And now, while we're supposed to be Frodo here, we're actually Sam. Now, I could be any character here, so we're changing the course of the history of the lore of Lord of the Rings. Now, if it was Boromir that won, it's a pretty funny interaction where Boromir legit steals the ring from himself. He comes out, there are two Boromirs, and yeah, it's all glitched up. Because the game never comprehended, like, how to display two Boromir sprites at once. So it just duplicates one, all glitchy. It's kind of weird. If you want to see that, check my other marathon runs. You'll see it there. Or my speedrun. Speedrun.com. Alright, so this is the final battle, and because we're in glitch state, we're suddenly inside of a underground tomb, and now we're back outside with the full fellowship. So normally this is a battle with just Frodo versus one enemy, with the correct background for the battle. But just to show you how messed up this game can be up until the very end.
あ、じゃあここは本当は
This is just straight
主
up
人
not
公が
supposed to
一
be
人に
happening
な
right
っ
now.
てやる戦闘なんだけど、みんないるからタコ殴りで
Okay.
ミス。
Let's see, who's gonna get the final blow? Who does chat? Chime in. For those of you that are watching this in real time, who do you think is gonna get the final blow? Who's gonna be the
ミ
hero?
ス。
I'm gonna make sure everybody attacks if they can attack.
おかしい
And
な。
we'll see
一
who it
人の
is.
戦闘の
Frodo?
はずがタコ殴りできてるはずなの
Obviously.
に。
Oh, wow, that's not a bad hit. Okay. Ooh, it might be Aragorn. Let's see. He could miss. He doesn't. He never misses. Aragorn stealing the show at the end.
これが最後の
Rightfully
戦
so.
闘ですね。
All right. So instead of Frodo, it is Sam bearing the burden versus Boromir. So normally when that Boromir comes out,
あ、
he'd be all glitched up.
もうそろそ
Oh,
ろ
he's stand-
タイ
wow,
マー
that's
ストップ
rude.
です。
I've never seen that before. He's standing directly in front of Sam. Sam finally gets his moment of fame, and Boromir just blocks him. I'm afraid for you, Frodo. You carry such a burden and
本
suffer
来
with
は
it.
多くの舞台に襲われたことで、フロ
what I
ム
should
と
do,
フロ
but
ド
I'm
と
afraid
サ
of
ム
doing it.
がはぐれて
Then
旅
come
の
with me
仲
to
間は3
Gondor,
パーテ
the
ィーに分
land
裂
of,
する。
and hand me, and lend me your ring. Sorry. No. I'm too strong for you, halfling. I could take the ring by force.
今これが
And
指輪を奪おうとする。
Sam is there, but
Huh?
Boromir is just completely on top of him. Normally you see both characters. Miserable trickster, but what have I done? Frodo, come back. A madness took me, but it has passed. Come back. So right now, what normally is happening is they show Frodo put on the, like, he pretty much disappears. But when it's glitched like this, he does not disappear and then just randomly appears off to the side. And now you all get treated to the final cutscene of the game. And what's your reward for all this? Nice credit screen to see all the wonderful people that worked on this game? You'd imagine that, right? Get to see everybody that worked on the music, the program. Wouldn't you love to know who the programmer is or programmers? So and that's time, by the way, right there. We're gonna find out. Never, because the game just boots you right back to the title screen. And that's how they end the game. And that's how we end the run. So yeah, that's gonna do it. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the shenanigans of the Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship of the Ring. Always a roller
記
coaster.
録動
Always
画だと、さっき
excited
の
and terrified to
あ
see what this
タイマー
game
ストップ
throws
しま
at
す
me in
ね。
a
さっきの
marathon.
記
So
録、
that's my
エ
run.
ンデ
Thank
ィ
you
ン
for
グの
watching. Thank you for
みたい
RPG
なの
Limit
が
Break
入っ
for
たとこ
having
ろ
me,
で、タイ
supporting
マ
a
ーストッ
great
プでし
cause
たね。
with
ちょっと
Nami,
タイマー
and
が遅れて止まり
I
ましたが、
look forward
GG でし
to
た。
the runs that we got coming up for the rest of RPG Limit Break.
All
あ、サ
right.
クッ
Thank you
と画
so
面切り
much,
返し
PeteDorr,
切
for
り替わ
that
りました
awesome
ね。
run of The Lord
と
of the
いうわ
Rings:
け
The
で、ただ
Fellowship
い
of
ま
the
のタイ
Ring.
トルは、ザ・ロード・オブ・ザ・リング、
So many
フ
glitches.
ェローシップ・オブ・ザ・リングで
What
し
does
た。
everybody think? That was an awesome run.
そしてここ
Coming up
で、
next, we have
配信の方
Lisa
一
Rocks
旦
with
再
Super
起動いたし
Neptunia
ますので、
RPG
一時
80%.
的に、配
We
信の
still
方
have a
途切
little
れ
bit
ま
of
す。
time. We have a bid
チャ
war
ンネ
going
ル
on
その
right
まま
now
でお待ちく
for
ださい。
choosing the
ま
voice
た、
acting language. You can
時間
choose
もね、ち
between
ょうど4
English
時
or
17分
Japanese.
だったところで
In the、lead
司会
right
進
now
行の
is
方も交
English.
代となります。ここまで
You
あ
can
りが
change
とうご
that
ざ
at
いま
any
した。
time. Get those
引
donations
き
in
続
now.
き RPG リミットブレイク2022をお楽しみください。それでは失礼いたします。